Greeting students, welcome back to my class. Students, in the previous class we completed the chapter The Glimpses of India part 3, Tea from Assam. We have done the discussion of question answers of the first part and second part. There is no question answer in the third part, but there were fill-ups, so we did that, and I hope that you have understood the chapter very well, all three parts. Now in today's class we will continue with your English textbook first flight, and we will do this poem. The name of the poem is Amanda, and it is written by Robin Klein. So in this poem, before we start the explanation of the chapter, I would like to give you a brief introduction of the chapter. I would like to give you a brief introduction of the poem Amanda. So this Amanda, it is a very short poem. In this poem, it is described that what goes through the mind of a little young girl, Amanda. It gives us the idea of the psychology, idea of the thinking of a young girl, which is a school going girl who is always checked and monitored or instructed by her mother, who has a long list of do's and don'ts for her little girl. And and with that long list, with being monitored at each and every step of what she does, so she feels annoyed, and because of that annoyedness, and because she feels annoyed, she brushes aside all the instruction. That means she does not listen to her mother's instruction, and she goes into her world of imaginations every time her mother instructs or monitors her, or shouts at her or scolds at her, and she lives in her world of imagination. So my dear student, this was the brief introduction of the chapter. Now I would like to give you a brief summary. It is a poem and I am saying chapter again. So this poem Amanda, the author is Robin Klein. And now the summary time. So the summary goes like this, my dear students. This poem allows us to go and look into the psyche. Psyche means the thinking of a little young girl who is always being monitored, being instructed, and always stopped or scolded at each and every step of her what she does. And those all instructions all are given by her mother. As we will read the poem, you will also come to know she feels annoyed, and she always, whenever her mother gives her some instruction or scolds her, shouts at her or monitors her, tells her that don't do this, do this, so she finds a way to go into the world of her imagination, and she always does that. Like for example, in the first stanza, when her mother commands her that not to bite her nails and sit in a straight position without slouching. So she is a defiant girl, means she always ignores the instruction because she feels annoyed. And when mother says not to bite nails and sit erect without slouching, she thinks she finds an escape into her world of imagination, and she thinks that she is a mermaid, ek jal pari hai, and she is swimming into a vast green sea which is calm, and there is no one to disturb her. There is no one around her, nobody around her to disturb her. That's what she goes. But her imagination, world of imagination, is sooner broken by her mother when she shouts at her again, and she says that she asks her again, have you cleaned your room, or have you arranged, or have you done your homework? She says that, she asks that, and she also asks that has she cleaned her shoes or not. So when she does that, when her mother does that, brings her back from the world of her imagination. Amanda again feels annoyed, and her defense become more and more. So she again thinks, this time she considered herself to be an orphan. वो अपने आप को एक अनाथ समझती है, and she feels that there is no one to check on her activities, to check on her action, that what is she doing, what is she not doing. And she also considered that she is walking in a street barefoot, and where there is no nagging voice, there are no disturbing voice, there are no scolding voices by her mother. And while she was imagining all these things, she was again brought into the reality by her mother, when her mother asks that she should not look away when her mother is talking to her. And because Amanda, she is a defense girl. Defense means she does not listen, she always ignores. You can say विद्रोही बोल सकते हैं, या जो सुनते नहीं हैं. And so she, whenever her mother talks to her or says something to her, she always ignores that part. And she says that she should not eat more chocolates, that because it causes the pimples. And the mother immediately commands her to look her in the face when she is being talked to. सो मदर ये बोलती है कि तुम्हें ज़्यादा चॉकलेट नहीं खानी चाहिए, इससे पिंपल्स होते हैं. और वो उस समय उसको देख नहीं रही होती है, तो वो उसको बोलती है कि सी कमांड्स हर दैट लुक इनटू माय फेस, लुक इनटू माय आईज व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू. एंड दैट्स व्हाट शी सेज टू हर. This triggers more defense in Amanda and in her imagination. She prefers to be Rapunzel. Rapunzel, she's a girl from German fairy tale who is being imprisoned in a high tower, and she is all alone there. She is being imprisoned by their witch, and she is all alone there. Nobody is there to disturb. And Rapunzel had long golden hair, which she let out of the window to her prince so that he could climb up. The idea here of being a captive doesn't bother Amanda. Being a prisoner doesn't bother Amanda, because she thinks that in that tower she would be alone. There would be no one to tell her what to do, what not to do. And that's why Amanda feels that solitariness, means that loneliness, would be so blissful that unlike Rapunzel, she would never let down her bright hair through the window to enable some prince to liberate her. She would not allow any prince, and she would not let those golden hair hanging by the tower, so some prince would come and liberate her or free her from the tower. But her dream is shattered by the voice of her mother again, and she brings her back into the world of reality from the world of imagination again, when her mother scolds her for being moody and commands her to stop sulking, to stop being annoyed, stop being thinking, stop चिड़चिड़ा मत हो. उसके लिए बोलती है कि तुम बहुत मूडी हो, चिड़चिड़ी हो, और ये करना बंद करो. The mother fears that people will wrongly get the impression that she has been nagging her daughter, and she thinks that if she will be like this, people will think that her mother is always after her, always telling her what to do, what not to do, always always instructing her, always having an observation on her daughter. So she doesn't want that. Amanda's mother doesn't want that. That's why she says that she should not be moody, and she should not be sulking. In this way, the young Amanda, she keeps on moving into the world of her imagination, and her mother keeps on bringing her into the world of reality. So this is the summary of this poem, my dear students. In this video, that is it. We will do the explanation of the poem in the next video. Thank you.